Hey there, Rebel Women. I bet many of you are just a tweak away from a major breakthrough. Just a shift, just a 1%, just micro tweak in your business, and you can't see it. I am going to share with you all about the one thing that I did in my studio to grow exponentially and create a high demand product. I can't wait to share with you my story. Let's get real.
Hey there, studio owner. You've put your blood, sweat, and tears into creating a brick and mortar business that serves your clients and impacts the community you love. You are my hero. And I'm pretty sure we could sit down and talk like besties do because I get it. I've had my studio business for over 12 years, a handful of kids, and a few passion projects that I love. Like this one. Hey there, I'm Melissa Rose, your visibility coach for the studio owner who wants more stellar clients coming through their doors, more bank in their bank account, and more time to hang out and be completely present with those they love most. In this podcast, we're going to share the nitty-gritty of running a successful studio business, sharing stories, talking strategy, and learning practical tips that leave you inspired, empowered, and equipped to create your epic life every single day. So, if you're a dance studio, yoga studio, Pilates studio, or a fitness boutique studio, you are in the right place. Add some kiddos into the mix and maybe a life partner, and I call you a rebel woman. Ready to dive in? Let's get real.
Hello, everybody. Happy December. Happy Christmas. Happy holidays. Hope you guys are well. Today it's dreary. I got to give you the weather. This is what we do in Wisconsin. It is dreary. It is just, it is trudging through. However, last night we had our holiday concert for the high school, which is always just beautiful and magical because there's an orchestra and all the choirs and all the feels and all the emotion. And it was my daughter's senior year and just so special. So special. For those of you that have known, I am divorced. I have 5 kiddos, and let's just say there's a reason we're divorced, but we have come a long way, baby. We have come a long way in the fact that last night I was able to take a picture with him and the girls next to him, and then he returned the favor to me. It's the little things, you guys, but that is definitely a big thing. So super thankful for that. And I am here to chat with you about what I have learned because, you guys, this has been probably an 18-month journey. And I am so excited to share it with you because it's my story. It's exactly what I've done in my studio. It is something that has set me apart, not just in my community, but in the dance world. People have come to me and asked me about my 6-week session. What are you doing there, Melissa? Because nobody's doing that. How are you doing that? And all the things. So we are going to dive into that. Now, the reason I wanted to share this with you because many of you probably are on the brink of something huge, and it doesn't feel like it. It feels heavy. You feel stuck. You feel like you're spinning your wheels, and you don't know what to do. And you guys, that's where I was at. And I was listening to the podcast, reading the books, and just being quiet on my morning walks. You all know that I walk every morning, and that's my time to pray and think and have my morning meeting with me, myself, and I. And I just was like struggling in a way like I don't know how to bring in more money unless I bring in more students. And I felt like I was maxing out my ways of getting more students that I could do financially. Okay, so here I am. So I am at a crossroads where I'm like, what do I do? And then it just came to me while I was teaching. So for those of you that don't know, I have a dance studio. I have had my dance studio since 2009, whatever that math is now, I don't know. 14 so years, I don't know. And I started my studio out of my basement, and I started my studio with students and adults, children and adults, but we did that year commitment, September to May, because that's what everybody was doing, and that's what I grew up with, so that's what I did. And it was shortly after that I got really burnt out teaching those 3-year-olds, like just really tired, and I needed more tools in my tool belt. So I changed to an 8-week session with the littles, and when I say littles, this is like 6 and under, right? Now, Don't worry if you don't have a dance studio, if you have a yoga, Pilates, all the different studios that you have where you're teaching private group, all the things. You can take this episode and you're going to figure something out. You're going to have an aha where you're like, what could I tweak differently? Okay, so I'm going to share with you what I did. So here I am teaching my littles, and I'm like, I'm getting burnt out with even 8 weeks. Like 8 weeks just felt 2 weeks too long. And I was like, what if I did it for 6 weeks? And I just kept it to myself. But then I started hearing my people. And my people were asking for shorter sessions. They didn't like long sessions. They didn't want to commit to the 9-month period. They wanted that short session. Well, what would 6 weeks be like? Would that be too short? But then I started doing the math, and I had my assistant help me with this. I've said, what if we do the same 6 weeks but charge the same, and then create more value in the fact that we would add bonuses per se? And let me go into those bonuses. So those bonuses would be free shoe rental. So we have shoes that they can borrow. So they're not buying the session of class and then having to buy shoes on top of it. They can borrow. If they are in a session with a recital, we would provide a little costume for them to wear. So creating these values. And we figured that out. And then my assistant said, well, we can fit 5 6-week sessions into our calendar or school year versus 4. If we did 8-week sessions, we could only do 4 sessions. But if we did 6-week sessions, we could fit in 5 sessions. You guys, just simple math here. If a session is $100 and you have 100 kids, you have $10,000 extra at your bottom line. That's huge. That was game changing. Once we saw those numbers, we're like, okay, we're doing this. We're doing this. Okay. So I made that decision in 2021. Yeah, it had to be 2020 because of all the stuff going on, and people were wanting shorter sessions and really talking to me about it vocally. They were being more vocal because I was being way more visible in our community. So I'm like, all right. So what I did, you guys, is I changed over our whole business model to 6-week sessions. All right. So we started teaching at 2 up until adult. And we specialize in beginner students of all ages. So therefore, that 6-week session really catered to that, right? But there's always a but. It created some speed bumps. Let's just say that. We had students that wanted to be a little bit more serious about their dance education. Let's say they're 8, 9, 10. And if we have new people coming in every 6 weeks, they were being held back. What I also did this first year of 6-week sessions is I knew that it would be hard to retain them if we had an end of session show and share or a recital. So I thought, you know what, let's have a real recital. Let's actually give them a little costume and we'll do a recital. And yeah, their dance may only be a minute, but it gives them a chance, a little taste of that. And then they'll be like, yo, Mom, I want to do that again. And they'll sign up for class. We learned so much by doing that. Okay, so what happened is that we changed everything over to a 6-week session. And we were going to have recitals at the end of each 6-week session. What happened is that we ended up just feeling like we were constantly in launch mode. We were constantly selling. We were constantly emailing people because we had to get them to re-enroll. They weren't automatically enrolled in each session after. Okay, so that didn't feel right with our team. So they had to take the initiative to re-sign up. We even tried incentives. Like if you signed up for the session before this time period, you would get a $10 discount or something like that. And it didn't pull enough people in to make it worth it because most people didn't even care. It was a great value they were getting. So the discount didn't really incentivize them. So what happened is that, yes, we did this recital, but people dropped. And then we would get a few new people, but we had more people. We had more churn. And it was the worst year as far as numbers. However, I made money. I made more money. But as far as energy in the studio as far as re-energizing my teachers each 6 weeks. Can you imagine being a teacher? God bless my teachers, y'all, because that was exhausting last year doing this. It was not ideal. All right, so we did the 6-week sessions. We had a 6-week recital each time. It was a lot. However, the silver lining is that we created systems for those recitals so that it was so tight. We have our system down. So not only, we're not doing a recital once a year, so we went from going to 1 year recital or once a year recital to 6. So we just fast forwarded everything, right? So now we are like, okay, everybody's got their role. Everybody knows what to do. And here we are in our next year, 2021-2022 season, and this is what we changed. We learned that we cannot have everybody be a 6-week session, okay? Even though we are known for those beginner students of all ages, and we are known for these 6-week sessions, okay? I have created a high demand product because people love this for their kiddos, okay? For those of you that are parents, they can do soccer, they can do lacrosse, they can do football, they can do swimming, they can do, there's just so much to do, right? And honestly, as a parent, I want you to go try those things for your kiddos. I don't want you to just stick to one thing. They're kids. They should try different things. So parents loved us. In fact, you guys, here's a funny story. It's amazing how well, when you have something that's so popular and well known for. I had the Soccer Association pay for my son's tuition because she said, we appreciate what you do so much because you allow kids to play soccer as well. I was like, what? I couldn't believe it, you guys. They paid for my son's tuition just for that month, to say thank you because my studio allowed other kiddos to participate in soccer and didn't say, sorry, it's either dance or soccer. All right. So that was so mind-blowing to me and awesome because I knew that we had something because I was listening to my people, and please take that. I was listening to my ideal people, and that's what they wanted. Now, my ideal people also wanted to grow. So I had this group of families that, yes, we love the 6-week session, but then I had this other group of families that I absolutely love as well, and they wanted more. So guess what we did, y'all? This past year, starting in September, we split it. So from 7 and under and my adult classes, we do 6-week sessions. And you guys, we charge a premium. We are the most expensive for 6-week sessions. All right? They can go to the studio down the road and get an 8-week session for almost half of what we charge. Almost half. Okay? Keep in mind, they're a nonprofit. But what they get with us is so much more. All right? They have so much more value-added incentives to take from us. And then we have leaned into our niche super big. The community knows about this. We are the top-rated studio in the area, and it's because of this 6-week session. All right, so it has now become a product that the community knows about, and it's what we're known for. But we also have our year-long program for 8 and older, and that's for those students that want a little bit more, and we added a company line for those students that want even more, okay? But our go-to highly known product is our 6-week session. It is also our most profitable, all right? So when we advertise, when we choose to pay for advertising, we are really leaning into that, all right? So that is my story of a 6-week session, our 6-week session, and how that has grown my business on an average of 20% each year. All right, just by taking 2 weeks off. So I'm technically working less, my team is working less, and we are making more. So what could you do in your studio business to create more value? Don't lower your prices, but could you take off a week or take off 2 weeks and add a free something or a performance opportunity or a community gathering? What could you do to create that value? Because smart women create value for their clients, which then produces income for your business. All right? I am in love with our 6-week session. I look forward to seeing those students. I love that it gives families the flexibility they need and desire. And I love that it has impacted my studio's bottom line, because then I can be even more generous to my community. So it's such a win-win for everybody. So as you head into this holiday season, I know for a lot of us, 2022 is just starting to finally pick up after the past couple years. It has not been as awesome as maybe pre-2020. A lot of us are still coming back to those pre-2020 numbers. I know I am. We're not there yet. However, we are more profitable and we have brought in more income, but we have been very, very intentional about that. And these 6-week sessions have really helped. So if you want to sit down and have a 20-minute call, complimentary, and just mastermind some ideas for your studio, I would love that. We also have our 90-day mastermind coming up in January. This is a time, oh gosh, I love these masterminds. Twice a week, 90 minutes, I come in with a mini training, and then we just go around the room and mastermind together. This is a really, really great way to tip your toe into coaching with me. It also is a great way to hold yourself accountable. How many of us have these goals for 2023? Have you written them out yet? I know I am having my meeting this Friday with my team to map out and plan out our 2023 and where we're going. So what are those goals? What 1 or 2 things are you going to focus on in quarter 1 so that you can grow and scale and create your epic life? What are you going to do? So go to msmelissarose.com/mastermind to learn more about that 90-day mastermind. Super economical and super impactful for you and your business. I would love to see you there. If you enjoyed today's episode, please screenshot it and shout it out on your stories, making sure you tag me, the Ms. Melissa Rose. I like to say the Ms. Melissa Rose on Instagram, and I will shout you out. I'll return the favor. If you haven't yet left an honest rating and review on Apple iTunes, please consider doing that. I will have the link in the show notes to make it super easy for you. They are super appreciated, and it helps get brick and mortar visibility out to more studio owners like you. All right, everybody, so good to be with you as always. I hope you learned something today. I hope you got inspired to maybe consider making a tweak in your business that could make a huge impact to your bottom line and your community. All right, y'all, have a great, great week. We will be back soon. Happy holidays. Peace. Bye-bye.